Shavua Tov, everyone. Welcome to Till's Tell Stories for Saturday night, week 180. The title of this week's video is A Sudden Specialist. I extracted and adapted and supplemented the story from a post on Torah.org by Rabbi Label Lamb. Rabbi Chaim Zanvel Abramovitz, the Ribnitzer Rebbe, was acknowledged by all Jews across the spectrum, including Chabad, as a renowned performer of miracles. He lived in the USSR under Stalin's rule, yet lived a fully Jewish life, just as if the communists and Stalin did not exist. He served as a mohel, a circumciser, and a shochet, as a slaughterer, these were holy tasks that he carried out with tremendous self-sacrifice and risked a life. And by the way, frequently accompanied by the famed Chabad Chassid Rabbi Mendel Futefas. After emigrating from Russia in 1973, he lived in the Mattersdorf section of Jerusalem for a few years, and also for a while in Miami, Los Angeles, and Brooklyn, before settling in Monsey, New York. He is buried there in the Ribnitzer Cemetery, and throngs of people flocked to play at his resting place constantly. He was married twice, but had no children, unfortunately. He passed away on the day after Simchas Torah in 1995 at age 102. There's different opinions about how old he was. I took a medium one, and this is according to Rabbi Mordechai Verdiga, to your music fans, known as Mordechai Ben David, who was a close follower and occasional attendant during the Rebbe's years in Brooklyn. a certain Dr. Goldstein from Queens, an ear, nose, and throat specialist, was once visited by a couple with their daughter who was stricken with classic deafness. As it is common knowledge there is no known cure for deafness, the doctor would have dismissed them without any medical attention. But they insisted that the Ribnitzer Rebbe, who at that time lived in Brooklyn, had sent them specifically to him for treatment and a cure. Dr. Goldstein laughed to himself that the rabbi thought deafness was medically curable, but to appease their persistence, he prescribed a regimen of vitamins and sent them on their way. Within a short period of time, the parents received a surprising phone call from one of the teachers at the special school for the deaf that the girl attended. It seemed she had started to exhibit signs of being able to hear. When it was verified that she could in fact hear, everyone was amazed, and Dr. Goldstein was crowned with the credit for his healing prowess. Word spread that Dr. Goldstein could indeed cure deafness, and soon many people were contacting him for treatment. This, however, led to him being faced with a steep legal challenge. Since he had honestly deflected all credit for the girl's cure and denied that he or anyone could cure deafness, he was charged with withholding treatment, which is a crime. After all, it was already common knowledge that he had succeeded once. He had to prove in a court of law that he had offered the girl no more than what was ultimately a placebo. Ultimately, the real cause of the cure, since it was not Dr. Goldstein by default, was legally credited to the miraculous powers of the Ribnitzer Rebbe, and so it was duly recorded in the official records. But that's not the end of the story. Years later, Dr. Goldstein received a telephone call from the Gabbai, the attendant of the Ribnitzer Rebbe, requesting a home visit for the Rebbe to assist him. He was having a problem with his hearing. After administering whatever needed to be done, Dr. Goldstein asked the Ribnitzer the obvious question. Why didn't the Rebbe, who clearly was able to make miracles happen, heal himself from his own ear ailment? The Rebbe responded by quoting the Talmud, where it says that a prisoner cannot remove himself from prison. There it tells about Rabbi Yochanan, who had relieved others of their pain and yet required the help of someone else to alleviate his own. What we're able to do for others, often we cannot do for ourselves. As Rabbi Lamb adds, sometimes a doctor needs a doctor, and a psychiatrist needs a psychiatrist, and certainly a dentist requires the help of another dentist. May the merit of the Holy Ribnitzer help to protect all the Jewish inhabitants of our land of Israel during this time of war against an inhumanly cruel enemy. May all the captives be quickly returned without any further suffering to anyone. If you would like to see, by the way, an intense photo of the Ribnitzer Rebbe, so then send a request to me by WhatsApp or preferably email. Tillis Tells, one word, TILLESTELLS, tillistells at gmail.com. Shua Tov, and may we have see revealed God's wondrous help in these difficult times.